So good afternoon all. Today we are going to see multiple frequency continuous wave radar. So we have seen FMCW radar where we can measure both relative velocity and range. But what is the drawback of continuous wave radar is we can't able to measure the range of the target, but we are able to measure only the relative velocity through the continuous wave radar. That is avoided. That limitation is overcome by the FMCW radar. After that, this is one more topic, that is multiple CW radar, where we can able to avoid the limitation of CW radar, but not using frequency modulation process. It is being with two multiple frequencies, two signals. Let us see how we can able to measure the range of this particular target, which is a continuous wave radar, but not going to the FMCW radar. Let us see how it is happening. Right, multiple frequency means we are going to have more than one frequency components are going to be used for the measurement of range of a target through this particular CW radar. Let us see here, the continuous wave radar does not measure the range. This one we know, because continuous wave radar is only able to measure the Doppler frequency through which we can able to measure relative velocity. That limitation, that is the limitation of CW radar, that we are going to avoid or overcome by taking the concept of multiple frequency. So multiple frequency, let us see here. The principle, this is not the principle, this is principle used in continuous wave radar is measurement of phase difference. Just by measuring the phase difference of reflected signals, so we can able to identify, we can able to calculate the range. How we can calculate the range? By taking the phase differences. How to have phase difference, how to measure the phase difference, that we'll see now. Let us consider we have a signal with a continuous wave signal as sine 2 pi f naught t. Sine 2 pi f naught t. It is radiated from the radar section. So from radar, we are radiating a signal called sine 2 pi ft. Sine 2 pi ft. Let us take this is the target. So the reflected signal will be with sine 2 pi ft with some phase difference called t, delayed with a version of t. That is nothing but that phase difference is going to be taken here. If you expand this one, we'll have the phase difference of sine 2 pi f naught into t. This is the phase difference occurred. This is the phase shift taken place with respect to transmitted signal as well as reflected signal. So from this, what is this t? T is nothing but time taken to travel from the radar to the radar. Radar to object and object to radar. That t we know, that is nothing but what? T equal to, t is nothing but 2r by c. 2r by c. We know this one. This is the basic equation of radar. Just by substituting t with 2r by c, we can rewrite this equation as delta pi equal to 4 pi f naught r by c. 4 pi f naught r by c. So with this we come to know that the delta pi is the phase shift, and f naught is the signal frequency, and r is the range of the target, and c is the velocity of the right. Can we write this r as subject? Yes, we can write r as subject. So if you write r as subject, we can write the range of the target is equal to c into delta pi divided by 2 pi f naught. So c into delta pi divided by 4 pi f naught. So if you take c by f as the lambda, because c by f is the wavelength. So C by F, we have taken lambda divided by 4 pi into delta pi. This delta pi we don't know. This delta pi we don't know because we have to measure it. It is the phase difference or phase shift between the transmitted signal as well as reflected signal. And C we know velocity of light. F naught we know because we only send the signal. We know the frequency of the transmitted signal. So only the thing that we can't able to know is delta pi. We will see that one with an experiment here. Let us have here, we are transmitting two waveforms. The first waveform, see, the transmitted waveform is assumed to consist two continuous waveforms, F1, F2. So we have transmitted two waveforms here. One is, this is the reflected due to the first waveform. Sin 2 pi F1t is transmitted. If sin 2 pi F1t is transmitted, we are going to have the received signal as sin 2 pi F1t plus some phase shift of pi 1. Similarly, sin 2 pi F2t is transmitted. The received signal will be sin 2 pi F2t plus phase difference of pi 2. So this is the pi F1 and pi F2 we have taken here. And where pi 1 is nothing but the phase difference due to the first waveform. And for the first waveform, what are the phase shift is occurred, that is taken as pi 1. Pi 2 is the phase difference that is taken place for the second waveform. And if you consider here, the echo signal is shifted in frequency by Doppler frequency. The form of the Doppler shifted signal at each of the two frequencies F1, F2 is written as like this. So due to the first one, we are going to have phase shift. Along with phase shift, definitely it must be having some Doppler effect because we are detecting the moving target. So moving target is existing. Definitely there will be a Doppler shift. So that the Doppler shift, whatever the frequency it is shifted due to for the first signal is taken as FD1. This is the due to the first signal. This is the received total. This is the received signal due to the first one. That is nothing but whatever we transmitted F1 of D along with some Doppler frequency and along with some phase. Similarly for the second signal, this is the second signal which is received from the target. Where what is this? R0 is nothing but range. R0 is nothing but range, and T0 is the R0 is the range at a particular time instant T. T is nothing but taken T0. And FD1, FD2, these two are the Doppler frequencies that are associated with the first signal and the second signal. That is FD1 and FD2. So since the two RF frequencies F1 and F2 are approximately the same, the Doppler frequency shift FD1 is approximately same as the FD2. So we are going to take FD1 equal to FD2 equal to FD. Because Doppler frequency is, we are assuming that when the first signal is transmitted, the Doppler frequency shift taken place is equal to the second. When the second signal is transmitted, the Doppler frequency is taken place. So we are assuming that the Doppler frequencies for two signals are same, that is taken as FD. If you write that one, we are going to have the detected signal here. See, the receiver separates two components of each signal and heterodynes each received signal component, which is the corresponding transmitted waveform, and extra CTS, the Doppler frequency components is given by this one. This is due to the first one. Here, instead of taking FD1, FD2 like that, we are going to take only FD. So FD is nothing but how it is taken. It is taken the concept of taking difference. This is the first, and this is the second one. And from this, we are having two components here. This is the first component that is related to measure the Doppler frequency, through which we can able to measure the relative velocity. This is for relative velocity. And the second one component is, this is the component called the phase shift. This is the phase shift due to the first signal. This is the phase shift occurred for the second signal. We are going to take the phase difference between these two. The phase difference between this first one and the second one. We are going to take the phase difference. That difference is taken here, delta pi equal to 4 pi into So you take this one here, common. You can take R0 common and 4 pi common, C also common. You can write this one 4 pi R0 by C is common, and F2 minus F1 will be the thing. And we can write this delta pi as 4 pi into, this is the frequency differences. First and second signal frequency difference. Delta pi and R0 divided by C. So from this we can write what is R0. R0 equal to, so we can write C into delta pi divided by 4 pi delta F. So this is what we have been given at the starting. 4 pi F0 R by C. So this is the case. So likewise, we can able to measure R0 using two frequencies, F1, F2. So only it is defined as multiple frequency continuous wave radar. We have taken two signals here. One is being with 2 pi F sin 2 pi F1t, and the second one is with sin 2 pi F2t. When first signal is transmitted, we will have reflected signal with the Doppler shift along with the phase difference. When you transmit second signal, it will also being with the Doppler frequency shift as well as phase shift. We are going to measure the difference phase as delta pi. From the delta pi, we can able to identify the range of the radar, that is equal to R0. Right. There is a limit to delta F, since delta pi cannot be greater than 2 pi radians if target is to remain unambiguous range. So this delta pi value is limited because delta pi value doesn't go for 2 pi radians. Why we are taking delta pi equal to 2 pi? Because phase difference is running from 0 to 360 degrees. After 360 degrees, again we are going to have again the same phase. So the delta pi is fixed from 0 to 2 pi radians. From 0 to 2 pi radians. If 0 is there, there is nothing is there. We can take that is not having the radar. We are not having the target, which is being within the radar itself. So that delta pi is from 0 to 2 pi, it is fixed. So based on that, because delta pi is fixed between 0 to 2 pi, this delta pi also we are going to have a finite value. So we can write, find this R0 based on this particular points. And delta F cannot be less than, must not be less than C by 2 or unambiguous. That is one more condition. When delta pi is replaced with the pulse repetition frequency, pulse repetition rate, the maximum unambiguous range of the pulse radar. So if delta pi is replaced with the pulse repetition rate, that is FP, we are going to have maximum value as this is the maximum value. So whatever the phase shift, whatever the frequency shift it is, we are going to take here. What is the maximum range that we can measure is when and only when this F delta F becomes F. What is FP? FP is nothing but pulse repetition frequency. That is nothing but 1 by TP. What is 1 by TP? 1 by TP. 1 by TP means T is nothing but time taken to travel. Time taken to transmit. Time taken by the pulse to transmit from the radar to the object and object to the radar. So pulse repetition frequency FP, pulse time period as TP. And we'll have some illustrative problems on the second unit. That is, we'll see the determine the range and the Doppler velocity of an approaching target using triangular modulation FMCW radar. Here, given beat frequency is FP up, frequency is 15 kilohertz, and the beat down frequency is 25 kilohertz. And the modulating frequency is 1 megahertz, and the delta F is 1 kilohertz, and operating frequency is 3 gigahertz. So we have to write all these things aside. What is the given data here? So we are having beat frequency, beat up frequency, FP up is given, FP down is given, and F0 is given, and operating frequency is given. Now we need to find out that R. See this one. So range frequency we can calculate by taking half into sum of these two. Sum of beta frequency plus beat down frequency. So we can write 1 by 2 into 15 plus 25, that is equal to 20 kilohertz. Beat down frequency, Doppler frequency is equal to half into beat down frequency minus beat up frequency, that is taken as 5 kilohertz. Then what is the second one? The range we need to measure. The range we need to measure. The range in terms of FR, FD, we have the equation. We derived this equation in the previous classes. R equal to C into FR divided by 4 pi FM into delta F, where C is nothing but velocity of light. We have taken 3 into 10 power 8. And FR we have calculated, that is equal to 20 kilohertz range frequency. And divided by 4 into FM. FM is given as, what is the modulating signal frequency? 1 megahertz. So 1 into 10 power 6. And delta F is given operating. Delta F is nothing but is given, that is taken as 1 kilohertz deviation frequency. That is equal to 1 kilohertz. That is equal to 1500 meters we will have. That is in terms of kilometers we can write 1.5 kilometers. So here unwanted thing is also given as operating frequency. It is not needed for our calculation. So only the thing is, if it is given beta frequency, beat down frequency is given, definitely we can able to find range frequency, Doppler frequency. From that range frequency, we can calculate the range. What is the relationship? That is the relationship R equal to. If we have range frequency with you, we should be able to calculate range. Because range frequency is definitely determines the range. Based on the range frequency only, we are going to measure the range. R equal to C into FR divided by 4 into FM into delta F. Substituting all, we get this equation. The next one is, we'll see the next problem here. So what should be the VSWR of a mismatched antenna if an isolation of 20 decibels is to be obtained between the receiver and transmitter in a continuous wave radar using common antenna? So what is the question here? What is the VSWR? What's the VSWR? The isolation is given as 20 decibels that we should maintain between the transmitter and receiver. So what is meant by VSWR means? Voltage standing wave ratio. Voltage standing wave ratio. It is a measurement of standing waves. So what is standing wave? Standing wave is the waves which are formed in the waveguide whenever proper termination is not happened. If you have a waveguide which is not being properly terminated, properly means not with the matched termination. We know the concept of matched termination in the microwave engineering. If you have proper termination at the end, we won't have any reflection from the end and properly terminated it is. If it is mismatched termination is taken place, mismatched means maybe open circuited or closed circuited or unwanted impedance is matched. So anything is not taken place. If anything is taken place like that, definitely we will have waves will be formed. So if you consider this is the waveguide, if it is not properly terminated, so whatever the signal that the signal passing through the waveguide definitely will be reflected back from the mismatched termination, and the reflected signal will be standing in the waveguide. This is called standing waves. These standing waves, we should be able to calculate what is the voltage that is related to the particular standing waves. That is nothing but VSWR. And if you see the problem here, so the isolation between transmitter and receiver is given as 20 decibels. 20 decibels. So if you consider 20 log 1 by rho, rho is nothing but what? Reflection coefficient. Reflection coefficient. That is equal to 20 decibels. From that we can calculate what is the rho value, because 20 log 10 1 by rho equal to 20. So 20 by 20 will have 10 log 1 by rho equal to 1 and 1 by rho equal to 10 and rho equal to 0.5. So reflection coefficient is given as 0.1. What it means, reflection coefficient? Reflection coefficient, based on the reflection coefficient only, we'll calculate the VSWR. What is this reflection coefficient? Let us assume some X amount of power is transmitted from the source end. And what is the amount that is reflected back? What is the amount that is reflected back? Is it 10% of transmitted, or is it 20% of transmitted? So that is calculated as reflection coefficient is reflected voltage divided by incident voltage. Reflected voltage divided by incident voltage. That is taken as rho. Based on this rho, we will calculate the VSWR. So VSWR is given like this. VSWR equal to rho. Sorry, see here. 1 plus rho divided by 1 minus rho. That is the VSWR. 1 plus rho divided by 1 minus rho. So we can write 1 plus 0.1 divided by 1 minus 0.1 will have 1.22. VSWR is 1.22. So here we have to take two more conclusions here. What is the range of this VSWR? What is the range of this rho? Let us see first case. What is the range of rho? Reflection coefficient. Suppose some X voltage is transmitted. The same X voltage is reflected back. So X by X, what is the value? 1. So rho value, maximum value will be equal to 1. And what is the minimum value? Minimum value is, suppose X is transmitted, no power is reflected back. No power is reflected back. That is VR equal to 0. In that case, 0 by X, that is the voltage. That is the minimum value, that is equal to 0. So reflection coefficient, the minimum value is 0, maximum value is 1. Minimum value is 0, maximum value is 1. That is the rho, reflection coefficient. So if reflection coefficient value is 0 is the minimum and maximum is 1, what will be the